And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Trump lawyers say securing the full $454 million bond is a practical impossibility in New York fraud case. Donald Trump was, in my view, falsely accused of fraud for doing what every real estate developer in the world does: evaluate their own property. The state of New York went after him, falsely gave evaluations for his Florida properties, causing outrage. Then summarily determined, this judge, that Trump committed fraud. And even when they then had a trial to determine how much money he'd have to pay, the trial was basically, we know he committed fraud. Did he falsify records? They say he's got to pay $354 million plus $100 million on top. Donald Trump's lenders said he did everything right. You had Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank saying this is totally normal. In fact, the ruling was so shocking, he says, we are done with New York. We're getting out because they will seize your properties. The play now that this money is impossible to pay, they will take Trump's properties. I predicted this, and this is my prediction right now. Don't know what the percentage chance is, but I believe there's a strong chance. What they're going to say is Trump's building is only worth $20 million. It's worth 500, but they'll say 20 million. And he owes 454. So we will be seizing all of his buildings. They'll start one at a time. They've already warned they would. He has 30 days. Time's almost up. Trump is unable to get the $454 million to cover the cost of a bond so that he can file an appeal. That's the game. They will leave Trump. They will seize his properties, and he will still owe hundreds of millions of dollars. They are cheating. They are lying. And that's the name of the game. Up next. Well, at the same time this is going on, the news came. I was driving in my car and I was playing AP radio. And they talked about how the Biden campaign has amassed $55 million cash on hand in 2024, raising $53 million last month. I thought to myself, wow, what about Trump? Well, unfortunately, Trump has limited cash on hand because of his legal bills. And there it is. They are attacking him on every front, stacking up legal bills that he can't pay with claims that are completely insane. And it's just absolutely fascinating. I want to stress this point. What did Trump do? Okay. So what they said was when Trump files for his taxes, he claims the property is only assessed at this value. But then when he tries to sell it, he says it's this value. Every single property in the country, probably the world, has their tax assessed value and their retail market value. So for instance, when you look at the tax records of any building anywhere, just go ahead and do it. It's going to say tax assessed value X. Okay. So let's say there's a house worth $300,000. The tax assessed value could be like $100,000 and you pay taxes based on that. When you then go to sell the property, you say, I want $300,000 for this. It's worth this. And here's why I think so. The other party will argue and say, we don't think so. We think it's worth less. And you negotiate. Donald Trump evaluated his own properties, his business did, saying this building's got to be worth probably $500 million. We want a loan against it. They got a loan against it. That loan allowed them to build another building. New York is claiming that's fraud. Now you've got real estate developers fleeing New York. They've destroyed their state. They are burning this country to the ground because they hate Donald Trump. It is insane. But not surprising. The Hill reports former President Trump's lawyers indicated in a court filing on Monday that he is unable to secure the full $464 million bond in New York in his New York fraud case, a matter that one insurance broker called a practical impossibility. Defendants' ongoing diligent efforts have proven that a bond in the judgment's full amount is a practical impossibility, citing an affidavit signed by an insurance broker who testified for Trump during the trial last year. Trump's attorneys claim they've spent countless hours negotiating with one of the largest insurance companies in the world and have approached 30 companies to back the bond. Efforts, it said, it was pursuing before the judgment was made. The amount of the judgment with interest exceeds $464 million, and very few bonding companies will consider a bond of anything approaching that magnitude. Trump offered $100 million in bond. They said no, full amount. If Trump does not pay the full amount, he can't appeal. And he's got 30 days from the closing of that trial to pay $454 million. They are trying to seize all of his assets and destroy his life. Where are the Republicans? Where's a single Republican AG in any one of these states to file charges or anything against Joe Biden or the Democrats? Okay, don't go after Joe Biden. Go after the DNC. Jam the DNC up. Why not? I don't get it. Joe Biden is only as successful as he is relative to Trump because Republicans are doing nothing. It's remarkable evil. I'm flabbergasted. Here we go. The president raised, Joe Biden, $53 million alone last month, which was the strongest grassroots funding month since the campaign launched, according to campaign officials. Among those efforts was a contest for supporters to attend a fundraiser on March 28th in New York with Biden, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton. That raised $4 million last month. The enthusiasm we're picking up as we go around the country is real, Biden said in a radio interview. We've raised a whole lot of money. We have 1.5 million donors, including 500,000 are brand new. They're small donors. 97% of the donations are under $200. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is forced to fly around the country, attending criminal, civil, and other ridiculous court cases. And I don't get it. I can only hope this. The reason for the strategy right now is not that Republicans are incompetent and stupid or worse and on the take. It's that they believe the charges against Trump are going to bolster his polls and actually allow him to fundraise more. But I got to say, Trump is using so much of this funds for his legal fees to stay out of prison or to protect his properties. He's not actually able to use much of that money for any real campaigning, nor is he actually campaigning. But Trump is famous for being able to generate massive attention in the press, which aids him and effectively serves to replace this paid ad spending. Right now, we're looking at the bloodbath hoax, they call it, because Donald Trump said there would be a bloodbath in the auto industry if the Democrats, if he does not win, because they're going to allow foreign-made cars to come in. Of course, if you Google search bloodbath, you'll see it is a market term. Joe Scarborough's got this funny clip where he's like, I've never heard the word bloodbath used in the relation to the economy, which it literally is all the time. And so here we are. But I wonder. I wonder if that will actually just help Trump. You know, he's pointing out in this speech that some of these migrants, he says, are not people. And I'm like, I think that's putting it lightly. They're like, it's fair to say that the child sex traffickers are demons. The point I made earlier. But the media comes out and claims, and MSNBC claims, he's talking about political violence. That's going to wake up a lot of people. People are going to be like, what? That's not what he was saying. That's insane. He wasn't calling for violence. He was saying there. I mean, it's not even that. If Trump had the way Trump said it, if you really thought he was talking about violence, he was saying if they get elected, there'll be a bloodbath. He could be implying they are violent. But my point, I wonder if stories like this that put Trump's name in the press just result in him doing better and better. Because right now, I mean, the polling aggregates are all in his favor. Let me pull up the 2024 polling aggregate for the general election. And, well, is that it right there? I think I have it right here, actually. Nope. Real Clear Politics, I think they changed the way general election polls. Oh, wow. Oh, I see. Okay, I got to give him this one. There's too many variables here. Currently, right now, Trump is up just shy of 2 points, 1.7 in the spread over Joe Biden. And so they can hammer out all of these attacks against Trump all day and night. He still seems to be holding it. When you add in, this is hilarious, Kennedy, RFK Jr., Cornel West, and Jill Stein, Trump is up 2.7. It only splits from Biden. If it's Trump, Biden, Kennedy, Manchin, or Stein, Trump is up 5 points. Manchin really spikes Joe Biden. That's amazing. And I love how they have this DeSantis versus Biden. I don't know why they still do, but that's a tie. Haley versus Biden. Haley wins, too. That's funny. But I feel like the negative press does not hurt Trump. It helps Trump. Never in the 2020 cycle, in 2018, 19, 20, well, mostly 2019 and 20, did we see anything like this. Trump was not in the lead in the polls. Say the polls are wrong. Say whatever you want. But right now, it is Trump's to lose. So maybe Them going after Trump just makes Trump the underdog, and he works better as an opposition candidate. We will see. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 6 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.